There we go. Um, when I think of something that's grounded us over the last decade, I would have to say it is our, it sounds a little funny, but it is our need. And I think of a psalm. I forget what number it is right now. But it says, what do I have to render to the Lord? What do I have to offer to him? And then David's response is, I have a cup of salvation and a call on the name of the Lord. That's all I got. It's a cup that he's already filled and a call on him. And so I think if there's anything that has kept us going, it's just thirst and hunger. Because we definitely don't have anything we do on a regular basis, even in a spiritual sense. I don't think that keeps us going. I think God's fuel in our life over the last decade has just been his grace in our life to give us a thirst and a hunger for what we don't have, what we want, and a deeper understanding of him. We absolutely need him to satisfy us. Music doesn't satisfy us at all. Touring doesn't satisfy us at all. Nothing in life will, ultimately. We need him to. So he's been good to us because he's over and over and over created in us a need and a yearning for him. So that's been our food for sure.
I think one thing we kind of learned early on, just kind of a practical thing, maybe a year or so into it, after the 15th youth camp, was we sing and we play, hopefully unto the Lord. And what we do, especially for people starting out or younger musicians, playing that you sing to, basically the Lord in a sense, but not for the applause of man. I think when we first started, I don't even think we would have said that we were playing for the applause of man, but I think we did come to kind of an acknowledgement of what we're called to hold up truth, and no matter what the response is, so it might be applause or it might be crickets, but ultimately it's just we do this service unto the Lord. So it was something we learned kind of early on. We've kind of carried on through now. So.
And I think too, just honestly, like time before concerts for us usually looks like a maybe trying to get a buzz out of the system a lot of times, or very last minute shower.
Trying to get a guitar to work.
I get a guitar to work. We've, for the most part, been our own crew and brought our own stuff and sound gear and drive our own stuff. Our drummer Joey helps us drive the bus, and so it's usually a team effort of just, we'll play, in September we're going to play 26 cities in 30 days, and so it's just a perpetual, probably on average 5 to 8 hours, 5 to 10 hours in between cities, and so through the night we're driving, and then we get there and it's just full on, let's just give it our best shot and see what happens. And so occasionally, especially this last year, we've had 15-minute snippets to stop and pray and read through a devotional book together, but honestly it's not a consistent thing. I wish it was, but in that, I think another thing we learned early on is that we definitely know that what God does through his Holy Spirit and by the power of his living word doesn't depend on how we feel. Because most of the time we definitely don't feel like singing at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. It's the last thing we feel like doing. Singing and talking and being up in front of people and trying to make, trying to gear up to do that. We're bad at gearing up. But what we do know is that his word is true. It'll always be true, no matter how we feel, no matter how tired we are, weary we are, or maybe even just beaten down by our own flesh, that His Word stands true. It's never going to fail. And I would say maybe at our lowest nights, our lowest moments, He's worked the most. Just to prove that to us. Just to go, hey man, this is my deal. It's not about you guys. This is about me. And so when you're at your weakest, I'm going to show off and live strong. And so yeah, it's been a humbling experience along the last 10 years to watch how determined the Lord is to minister and call people into Himself. He's a lot more determined than we are.